The England's North East website, which focuses on the region's history and culture. We cover the whole region from Northumberland, Tyne and Wear, Durham, Tees Valley, and a little bit of North Yorkshire as well, and York. You can search different areas of the region, Alnwick, for example, and there's a sort of a summary of the history of that area with lots of colour photographs. Northumberland, Tyne and Wear, Newcastle, some more of the Northumberland pages there. Tyne and Wear, Newcastle, Gateshead, North Tyneside, South Tyneside, Sunderland, and the area around Sunderland. Newcastle streets, Durham, from the Teesdale area, Weardale, Bishop Auckland area, southeast Durham, the Durham coast, into northern Durham, Durham city, Tees Valley, Darlington area, Hartlepool area, Stockton, Middlesbrough, and the sort of the old Cleveland area of North Yorkshire. Hartlepool. We sort of developing the North Yorkshire part of the site, as well as York, which is an area that we're sort of developing. Another way of searching the northeastern part of the region is through our searchable map. So basically, you can search any of the areas that are featured on the map. Hexham, for example, that takes us to the Hexham page. Where else? I mean, lots of different choices. Teesdale, Sunderland. We have a more detailed map covering the Tyne and Wear area. So different parts of Gateshead, South Tyneside, Newcastle, Sunderland. Let's look at Washington, for example. The Washington page. We also feature a timeline, a history timeline of the region, which is an interactive timeline going back to prehistoric times right the way up to the modern era. Let's go to, I don't know, the age of bead. Click on that and it takes you sort of a year-by-year summary of the events that took place during the age of bead. And as I say, that goes from prehistoric times right the way up to the present day. Let's look at the 19th, sort of the 1870s and 1880s, or late 1870s. First house lit by electricity. Some of the events that were taking place. As I said, it goes back to the prehistoric period. There's the prehistoric part of the timeline. Obviously, we don't have any events listed for the prehistoric era. We've just made a summary of the developments that were taking place during those eras of prehistory. Another thing that we have is a list of famous people, sort of a potted biography of famous people connected with the region. Historic figures and some modern media figures, that kind of thing. Pop musicians and so on. A similar feature is our Northeast surnames, which is again something that we're developing. Keep adding to it. This is the surname R. Some of these surnames are found throughout the country, but others are very much associated with the Northeast. Robsons, for example. but the focus is primarily on surnames and their connection to the region itself. A sort of a subgroup of that is the border reivers, I suppose, the border reiver surnames, which I've got a section on that. Related to that is a sort of a history of the borderlands. We do like maps. Map of the borderlands. What else? Do we have a Geordie dictionary? Geordie dictionary. How are we, man? There we go. Geordie dictionary. Let's go F. So words beginning with F to H. Also some explanations of the origin of the term Geordie and so on. Similarly, we look at the origin of Macam as well, which is quite interesting, but it goes back, it seems to go back a lot further than we would imagine. To the home page, we have various history resources listed, organisations, museums, societies, antiquarian societies, archives, museums, all kinds of super web resources connected to the northeast. A similar feature is our Northeast History Reference books. Not complete, but a fairly extensive list of books featuring the northeast and the north of England. There's all sorts of other bits and bobs in there. I don't know, what have we got? Football and sport history, sort of a potted history of football in the northeast. Sections on coal and railways. There's all sorts of things in there. It's worth exploring the website. It is something that is done to some extent. It started as a hobby, so it's kind of grown, and any sort of support that I can get from people just to keep it going, up and running, is always appreciated. If you could support our site, that would be brilliant. So there we go, England's Northeast. It's found at englandsnortheast.co.uk. Thank you very much.